type in good morning to me, hopefully, which will tell, yeah, let's see. They'll shoot by. So good morning, Dee, Matt, and Francesca, and Irma. Sharon, good morning. Lucy. Oh, they're going so quickly. Carly, Rebecca, if I miss you, I'll get you when you comment a little bit later. Gary, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Helen, Michelle, everybody come into the room. And I'm reading like that because I've got my bifocals on. And this morning we're doing Hooray for April the 12th. A little bit of a rah-rah to get us going. So let's just set our webinar room up today. You can see I'm here in the Passion for Hair Academy. Those of you who have been here before will recognise our copper wall, and you'll recognise our styling stations with our real live plants up there. Yes, we've managed to keep them alive all the time that we've been shut down. Mirrors. Oh, we're looking forward to looking in mirrors all day, every day, I'm sure. We're just waiting for a few more people to come into the room. Now we have got the Q&A on, so if you want to ask any questions, do feel free. The Q&A is on. You can see that I've made your names live because I've been a couple of times. I've been where you are a delegate on a webinar, and I much prefer to see everyone's names. You guys know each other, so I'm sure you don't mind everybody seeing your names, because then we know who is commenting. The event is being recorded, so for anybody that misses and you want them to catch up on it later, they will be able to catch it on our YouTube channel. That is Passion for Hair YouTube channel. And if you subscribe to our YouTube channel and you click on the bell, every time something new goes up there, you'll be notified, so you won't miss anything. And I do want to remind you that on that YouTube channel, most of the webinars that we have held in the last year are up there, so that they can be rewatched. And you can go back and see any of them, Census, Malibu, retail ones, whichever ones you want to see, they're all there for reference. So that is really, really good. I can see that we've got a good audience in the room, so that's great. I'm sure lots of you are in your salons. If you're in your salon, give us a yes, I'm in the salon, so that we know you're getting ready, organising, ready for a busy start next week, I have no doubt. So I'm really grateful that you joined me this morning. It's going to be about an hour. So often my webinars are more like 2 hours, but it'll just be an hour, because I know that you're all busy and we're busy too. We have been, gosh, you guys have been stretching us this week. But I think so far we've met the mark. We did say that we wouldn't be able to guarantee next day delivery this week, but we have got everybody's parcels out on the right day, I believe. So, and in between all of that, believe it or not, we've changed courier. So hoping to get you a better service. We've changed our courier, so we've done that part way through this week too. But let's really get going now with Hooray for April the 12th. Rah, rah, let's get going. So I really thought, well, actually a few of you had asked me, and if I know who asked, and if they're not on here, when I get off here, I'm going to take them to task, because a few of you asked me, you know, will we have a webinar before we go back? And so that's what this is, a webinar for everybody before we go back, so we can really get going. Now, you know, in the last week, oh, I forgot to tell you, I'm so sorry. It is being recorded. I told you that. It is also being streamed onto the P4H Stylist Hotline and Education page. So anybody that isn't on here, they can see it streamed on that page. Excuse me. Well, I think I've told you before. I think I'm allergic to makeup. Makes my nose run. And so, yeah, it's being streamed over there at the Passion for Hair Stylist Hotline and Education page. So people can watch it over there. And those people that have not signed up for the webinar, of course, they just have to jump on there. So I think that's all of the housekeeping right now. Remember, Q&A is on. We do encourage you. So if you ask a question and you press question mark, it will automatically come up as a question. You'll see down there that there is a question mark and a speech box. Okay, so you can press the question mark box and write your question in there. If you do, you have to go back to the speech box. We encourage you to chat in that little chat over there. So just in the same way you would if you were sat in the academy with me here and we were doing a course and you would be having little discussions and chats amongst yourself, you are welcome to do that. So for those of you that have joined a little bit after the hour, I hope you've caught everything, all of the housekeeping as it were. And good morning to you. I can see Carrie, Carol, Charlotte, Dawn, good morning. Harry, good morning. Jackie, Elaine, Jane, good morning. Vicky, Marie, Andy, Andrew, Slater, Michelle, Helen, Georgia, Gary, good morning, good morning. So, and Daniela, good morning. So, I think I've still missed some people. If I have, it's only because the feed goes so fast. Now, in the last week, I've spoken to a few hairdressers from Wales. Some of you know them. Tommy, you might have seen Tommy's work on the hotline, an education page. He's been posting up some fantastic work on there. Naomi, I've spoken to her in the last week. I've spoken to Brittany in Canada. Of course, they are working currently. I've spoken to a couple of stylists in the USA who are working. And here's what I want to tell you is that they are all so happy to be working and back in the salon. And so hopefully you are all really looking forward to it. Now, I do know, and I know this because remember, we're not starting from scratch. And if you've had an order from us in the last 2 weeks, on our card it said you're not starting from scratch, you're starting from experience, because we've been here before, right? So what we know is that when we've been off work for so long, you know, and it's been like the best part of January, February, March, it's like nearly 4 months, there is that anticipation, okay, and I get that, and that you know, you're out of practice, you're out of routine, all of those things. So hopefully already you've started getting yourself into a little bit of a routine. Start waking up at the right time in the morning, going to bed at the right time at night. I know myself that I've been back in my work routine for a few weeks now, but previous to that, you know, I was going to bed at all sorts of times and waking up in the middle of the night because I don't even know why I was waking up in the middle of the night. But anyway, so try and get yourself back into your routine, packing your lunch, whatever it is that you need to do to really get started. Here's another thing that we know: your clients are going to be so happy. So some of you know that I was inspired by Richard's workshop that he did for us, and I'm growing my hair so that I can have a mullet. Next time you see me, that's what you'll likely see. I've also been growing out my color. You can't see it up here because I've got touch up on there. But look here, I've been growing out because I really, I'm not sure. Look at my roots there. I'm not quite, I want to change my color. I want to change it up along with my style. But anyway, next time you see me, I won't be wearing my hair like this, right? I'm trying to do something with it because I'm on the screen. I feel like a granny. But anyway, next time you see me, it'll be different. So our clients are going to be so happy to see us. And that is absolutely fantastic. But going back to people feeling, you know, that little apprehension, okay? And some of you might not feel that, and that's okay. If you're somebody that's not feeling apprehension about going back, I want you to know you can be a great support to others that feel a little of that apprehension. You know, am I going to get behind? Am I going to be slower because I'm not used to it? I know when we brought some of our people, warehouse people back here at Passion for Hair, there, you know, they said, oh gosh, my feet are killing me, because they're not used to being on their feet all day. And in fairness to them, they have been running. I mean, we've had that many orders, you know, that we literally, if you've been in our warehouse, you'll get a little bit of a picture. But in picking and packing orders, running has been the order of the day. And yes, I've been out there picking and packing orders, and so has Daniel. It's been all hands on deck, and that'll be you, all hands on deck. Excuse the pun. It's his birthday tomorrow. But that'll be you next week, right? So work together as a team, support each other, make every day like a great day in the salon. Go home at the end of the day and, you know that you've done your best. You've done your best for yourself. You've done your best for the clients. You've done your best for the team. Be the best person, the best team player, the best, somebody that said, oh gosh, I'm so glad that I work with that person, because they bring so much to the day. Now, talking about making your day happy, and one of the things we've been training a lot, particularly through this lockdown, because one of the goals that I have for our industry, for my salons, for the stylists that I work with, for you, one of the goals I have is that we are able to take this opportunity to move our industry closer to other types of businesses that I believe we belong next to, and clearly so do the government, because they gave us our own category. So we're now called close contact services. But I want us to be seen more like opticians and dentists, okay? And there is so much about what we do today, which is like that all we need to do is we just need to keep pushing that agenda. And when I say pushing it, we don't need to talk about it anymore. We need to do it. We need to take action on it. So now in doing this, I do believe that there are going to be so many benefits for us. We're going to be seen and appreciated and respected differently. It means that we'll be able to charge the right prices for what we do. And it also means that people's careers in hairdressing will be enhanced, in that one of the things that really drives me is helping hairdressers to find success in their career, whatever success means for you, right? So for some people, it will be about what car you drive. For some, it will be about what mum you're able to be while still maintaining a career. And that's one of the most fantastic things about hairdressing, is that you can have a great career and be a great mum, because hairdressing as a career can be so flexible once you've got that clientele. So let's talk about making your day happy. And I hope you've all got your executive knickers. Somebody tell me what your executive knickers is. What's your executive knickers? Let's get you all working. Yep, your pen and paper. So I hope you've all got your pen and paper there, ready to take some bullet points. When I was making my notes this morning, I was reminded of someone that I used to work with. And when I was an apprentice hairdresser, I used to have to take 2 buses and a train to work, because my dad said, if you're going to be a hairdresser, you need to go and work in a great salon. He didn't want me to just work. At the time, I did work in a local salon as a shampoo girl, right? And my dad said, no, if this is absolutely what you're going to do, you need to go and get yourself an apprenticeship with the salon in London. And so I used to have to take 2 buses and a train to work every day and home every day before I learned to drive, and then was able to drive myself to work. But what that meant was I used to arrive at the salon very, very early every day. Well, there was a stylist that I worked with at that time. Her name was Leslie. I can still remember her. And her boyfriend used to drop her off on his way to work every morning. So she was also really early every morning. So Leslie and I would be at the salon, normally around, like it was just after 8, I seem to remember, like about 10 past 8 or 8:15. And I'd make the tea. and we'd have a cup of tea together. But Leslie would always sit at the reception desk, and in those days we had a paper appointment book, right, and a pencil and a rubber. They were nearly as important as the scissors. I can always remember when we used to do fire drills, and they used to say, like, the thing to the only thing to pick up was the appointment book. Anyway, Leslie would sit there every single morning. She'd be flicking through the pages. I used to sit there looking at her and thinking, what's she doing? What's she keep flicking through these pages for? I was an apprentice hairdresser. I didn't know, like, you know, what she was really looking at. And but I now realise that what Leslie used to do, she used to look at what was booked in the book. She was a very busy hairdresser, by the way. And back then, like, hairdressers were like fully booked, you know, 6 weeks in advance. If you were a new client and you wanted an appointment, you'd have to wait like 6 weeks for an appointment. Great days. Clients used to like queue up outside the salon for an appointment. But anyway, that was then. This is now. But what Leslie used to do is she'd be looking like days and days and weeks ahead at her appointments and who was coming in and what was expected. And one of the things that I've come to realize is that for hairdressers to have new clients just turn up at the salon and you've never met them before, particularly today where, you know, new clients tend to come to us, a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them come to us because they've been colouring their hair at home. They don't know where to go with it next. They know that they need a professional hairdresser, right? And if the first time you see that client, you know, is in the salon having a consultation, that, to me, that's where the stress starts kicking in, right? Because and we need to get rid of that in our salons, in our day. We need to get rid of that stress. So plan ahead. Use your ability to talk to the clients on the telephone, if need be, on FaceTime. If maybe you send us some messages. I put into our groups last week a story about Kim, who works for me. Many of you know Kim. She's an absolute amazing stylist. Honestly, I'm not just saying this because she works for me. She's phenomenal. She gets phenomenal results. This girl regularly sells like £400 worth of retail a week, like every week consistently. I mean, she's incredible. But she had a new client. She manages the Feathers Culture State. Anyway, she had a new client who had approached the salon, you know, wanted to get their hair done. And so Kim picked up this client, and she had a digital call. She had a telephone call with her first of all, and then they went to FaceTime. And then Kim told the client, look, I really need to do some strand tests, and I need to do this, I need to do that. So she made an appointment with the client to come in so that Kim can do all of these tests, as well as making the appointment for the client. And after that was all done, the client then messaged Kim, and she said, oh my God, I'm so excited about getting my hair done. Now, I want you to think about this for a second, because when you get a new client, right, and I've not got a presentation today, I'm not planning to use the pen and on the webinar, but if I need to, then I will. But I want you to think a minute about a new client. Now, they've heard great things about you. They've heard great things about your work, your salon, etc., etc. But when you're a new client somewhere, think about the felt plus, felt minus. Where is a new client on the felt plus, felt minus? Where are they? Let's get you all. I'm waiting for a few more answers here. Okay, we've got a felt minus. I think I'm going to have to get my thing out. My whiteboard out. Here we go. Here comes the whiteboard. So I'm going to do the felt plus, felt minus. Now, this line here, this is how people feel. This line here is time, right? And let's imagine that it's a new client and she's coming for a color. She's going to be, so this timeline is like 3 hours long, okay? And this here above the line, this is felt plus, And this here below the line is felt minus. Okay. Now, research tells us over and over again that when a new client comes to the salon, they're excited, of course, about getting a new hairdo. They've heard good things about you, otherwise they wouldn't come, okay? But on the felt plus felt minus oscilloscope, clients are around here. Tell me why. Type in why. Why? Type in for me. No one's typing, so I'm going to tell you. It's because the client is saying, here's a couple of typings coming in now. The client is saying, I've heard good things, and my friend has, my friend's told me how great this stylist is, but will she listen to me? Will they be friendly? Will they cut too much off? Will it go well? Was it just a fluke for my friend? Will I have the same experience as my friend? So what Kim did was this. Kim took this client's felt minus, and with phone calls and then a FaceTime, and then by assuring the client, I'm going to take a strand test, I'm going to do this, we're going to talk about this in a second, she took that client from there to there, right? So, and she did that. Now, normally, so she did it before the client's visit, you see? Now, otherwise, we have to do this for the client's visit, right? And we're a little bit, a client visit to our salon is different today than it was 18 months ago, right? Because 18 months ago, the client would have opened the door and someone could greet her. And, you know, if you're a real, a hairdresser who's, really, very developed and loves to be professional, maybe you'd have shaken the client's hand, right? So, and she'd have come in and you'd have had a big smile. That's not what happens today in our salons, right? So our ability to be able to change the client's anticipation before she comes in is massive, okay? But not only that, the client now knows exactly what Kim's going to do on the day, because Kim's told her, subject to the strand test, right? Because she hasn't been able to do the strand test yet. But she knows exactly, she's really excited. Now, this client was so excited that the client then told somebody else, and her friend has now come to Kim and said, I want you to do my hair. I want the same experience as my friend, etc., etc. She's got 2 high bill clients, right? 2 new high bill clients already booked in. The experience is up there because when Kim phoned me, she was so excited and she said to me, oh my God, I did the digital consultation and listened to what's happened, and I got these 2 clients, and they're 2 very high ticket clients. She's already told them they have to have the retail, right? Because they're going to have to look after their hair afterwards. And so she's already got, it's very exciting. Yes, Carly, go girl, right? But here's the most important thing, and I want to go back to the stress for a little bit, right? Is that those clients, it would be very stressful for those clients in the salon, and for Kim, unless it's not well thought out in advance. So let's just go back to this felt plus felt minus oscilloscope. What happens is this is the time, right? This is the client's feelings. Now, during a visit, the feelings go up and down, up and down. Let me tell you, anyone whose feelings are like that, what can you tell me about someone whose feelings are like that? What can you tell me about somebody whose feelings are like that? They're either dead, quite right, Jane, or they're not human, or they're probably on some kind of like medication or something, right? Poor people, okay? So people's feelings go up and down during the visit. Our job is to make sure that during the visit, the feelings go up and up and up, okay? That's the felt plus felt minus, felt plus felt minus. And I'm not actually sure, because we're so busy, I'm not actually sure whether Declan's still there with me. I know it says that he's there as a host. He is. He just clicked. So can you take the whiteboard away from me, Deck? And lovely. Okay, so I want to talk a minute about mindset because I mentioned it. And so much about how we feel is to do with mindset and what's going on in our heads, our voice too. And what I want us to understand and realize is that voice too is put there as a way to protect us. Okay, that's what it's there for. It's the part of us, right, that wants to be safe. Okay, and that's okay. That is okay. But the problem with it is that in order to make us safe, what it does is it says, stay where you are. Don't take risks. Don't do new things, right? And some of you might be really resonating with that. And particularly after what's happened, like the last year. But this is okay for safety, but it's not good for development and for building ourselves as people and for feeding the other part of us, because that's only one part of us. The other part of us loves challenge and it loves winning, and the other part of us loves that experience of something, setting a goal and then hitting that goal. So there's different aspects of us, and it's very, very important that we're able to check into that challenge part of us. So going back to when I said before, if you're somebody who feels like really confident and excited and you're not worried about things, put your arm around, like, not physically, metaphorically speaking, put your arm around the people that do need it, those that need lifting up, right? Help them to lift up. So let's talk for a second about, because I don't want anybody get like going back, and there are some things that we have to be doing differently. I'm sure many of you here are going to be doing more testing with your clients, more note taking, maybe some slightly different systems that you need to be running. And that's okay. In my salons, we've had massive changes because we used to use the old color start test. Every client, every time, right? We'd done that for like a decade, and it was such a system in our salon that, we didn't even have to think about it. I spoke to a salon yesterday who used to use the old color start every time, and clients, they're ringing their clients about skin testing, and the clients are saying, oh no, don't worry. Last time I was in, you gave me a test. I've got it in my purse. I'm going to pop it on my arm. And they're like, no, you can't, because they've all run out of date. So we're dealing with all different things, and I'm sure there's not one of us that isn't. Now, don't get stressed about it, okay? You've got some time. Make sure that you really understand whatever the protocol is in your salon. Make sure that you really understand it. Salon owners, ask the team. Tell them questions are okay. If you're not 100% sure, let me go through it with you again so that we can make sure we're really understanding what it is that we are doing in terms of our skin testing. Now, there are other essential tests, okay? And let's talk through. And if anyone's got any questions, ask me the question, okay? It's fine. There's no such thing as a stupid question, only information that we don't yet know. And there is so much that has changed in a year. All right, so much. I mean, if we had to write it down, we'd be writing a book about it. So, of course, we've got skin testing. Make sure you know your protocol. Make sure that you are, and this is another reason why you should be checking days in advance, right? Because if a client's been missed, you've got half a chance of getting that client caught up with their skin testing. So make sure that every single client has in some way, even if even if they're not due a skin test, that they've been screened. Okay, make sure that is happening. Make sure that you've put the tick on your computer or whatever system it is that you're using. You've updated the notes, right? This is going to be a big change for us as well. Think optician, think dentist. You wouldn't expect to go to your dentist and they can't find your x-rays from last time, right? You wouldn't expect to go to your dentist and the dentist can't read the notes and know what it is, where you are with your dental plan, okay? So other tests, strand tests, right, where you maybe take a little cutting from the client's hair at the back, put a little bit of sellotape around the top of it so that it's all the hair is held together nicely, and then do whatever strand test that you want to do. Maybe you're going to make sure that the hair is suitable for the service that you want to carry out. So is it strong enough? Now, as you're doing that strand test, you are already doing your incompatibility test, you're doing your elasticity test, you're doing your porosity test, because a lot of these things, as hairdressers, you do these unconsciously, right? So just make some notes about it. So if you're doing strand testing and you're putting the strands in an envelope, just put all the notes on the outside of the envelope, okay? That's all you have to do. It doesn't have to be complicated. It just needs a little knowledge, little education. Now, I want to talk to you about testing with bleach, right? Because there's been a lot of talk about skin testing with bleach. And if it says skin test with bleach on the instructions, my advice to you is buy a different bleach, right? Because if that's what it says, it's what you should be doing, which is crazy. It doesn't say that on census bleach. But I did pick up a tip actually from Caroline Larissy from the NHBF. I was having a conversation with her, and she said what she likes to do with new clients when she bleaches their hair. This was like a massive aha for me, and every hairdresser I've talked to about this since has said, wow, I love that. So she says what she likes to do with new clients is put some bleach on the client's arm, right? On the client's arm, and say to the client, I just want you to note the sensation. Because when I colour your hair on the scalp for the first time, that is what you're going to feel. I was like, wow, I love that. And I'm one of the biggest, loudest voices for the whole, you cannot skin test with bleach. We're not skin testing. We're allowing the client to experience what it's going to be like. So when we do put the bleach on her hair, right, and she's going, oh, it's getting hot, oh, it's tingling, she will already know that that's what it does, unfortunately. Oh, it looks like it's going red. Yeah, unfortunately, that's what happens, right? Now, if the client, you put it on the client's arm and she starts going, oh, I can't stand it, then she's not a scalp bleach client. We have to then talk to her about an alternative service. When Caroline told me about that, I was like, wow, I love that. I mean, look how professional we can be as we move forward. And all these kind of things are going to get us new clients, because when our clients talk to their friends, and at the moment, they haven't got very much to talk about except for getting their hair done. Right, there's not much else going on apart from going to work, maybe meeting some people in the back garden, right? There's nothing going on. So when they talk about this, people can say, wow, your hairdresser's so professional. Make sure that you take notes. They don't have to be, it's not an essay. It literally is just a note. So note it somewhere. Make sure that you keep these things. And wherever you can, take photographs. Now, some of you might be thinking, oh gosh, you know, this is all very stressful. Why have we suddenly got to do that? And if there is anybody that feels that way, ask the question. Let me try and help you understand what is happening in our industry and what we anticipate is going to increase, right? So the situation is going to exasperate. If you don't understand why, just put there, I don't really understand why, whatever it is. If everybody understands, then we're not going to cover it. But if anybody doesn't, I'd love to cover it for you. And I really want you to understand what's happening in our industry and how we need to protect ourselves. And if nobody's got those questions, and it seems that they haven't, then and I just want to ask you a question. Can you hear those builders? Like next door, we put this wall in here. It's a sound wall, but there's no sound wall down there, and they're working next door. We're going to have a new neighbour apparently, and I can hear it, but it would appear that you can't. Either that or you're all gone, because no one's typing anything. So that's good. You can't hear it. I'm glad to hear it. So because they've got a drill going. And if it's not bothering you, it won't bother me. Okay, so then I want to talk to you about building your business. All right. And by the way, if there are no questions, I'm really pleased to hear that, because what it means is our education's worked. It means that you guys have been doing your research, you've been paying attention, and I want to compliment that for you. Imagine making changes to your business and your business is not even open, right? It's really quite something. We're going to look back on these times, and we're just going to say, I just don't even know how we did it. But thank goodness for technology. So let's now talk about building our business. And I want to talk about the 4 R's. Of course I do. And please don't roll your eyes or sigh, right? I just want to bring everybody back into the salon. Tommy posted yesterday. Did anyone see Tommy's post? What did he say? Gave everyone some advice. He said, guys, I want to give you some advice. What did Tommy say? Tommy said, guys, the clients, the retail, stock your shelves. People can't stop buying. Well, of course, people have had nothing to spend their money on. And so, people want the opportunity to spend a little bit of money. People want the opportunity to treat themselves. People want the opportunity to maybe treat others. People want the opportunity to support you or any other business. And so now let's remember, when we talk about retail, we're not asking you to sell anything to anybody they don't need or they don't want. We have some amazing products, right? So when we talk about retail, we are talking about taking the client's experience, right? And I want someone to finish my sentence before I say it. We take the client's experience from a normal experience that you would expect in a salon or in any other kind of business, which will be an experience that you have whilst you're there. We take it to what kind of experience when we retail? What kind of experience does it become? It becomes a 6-week experience, because when I've got the products, I haven't had my hair coloured or cut. I already exposed that to you for anybody that wasn't with us earlier, right? Look, there's my, and I deliberately, I could colour it myself, but I deliberately am not, because I'm thinking I'm going to have a complete new change, and it's easier to change it, right, when there's not much there. So that 6-week experience. Now, I'm not loving my hair at the moment because this is not how I like it, but hopefully you agree. It looks okay, right? Because I've got touch up here, and I used this morning Fresh Effect. I washed it yesterday. I used Full Effect yesterday, right? I've got the products. I know how to make my hair last. I know how to make my hair look good, right? It's I've chopped it about a little bit myself with the scissors. I've had to, but it's the products that are helping me 4 months down the line still have a good experience with my hair, right? So we change the experience from a great experience in the salon to a great experience every day. So now type it, you do the work. Type in some of the questions, guys. What are some, I thought you'd coloured it. No, it looks so different from the other day with these products. So Carly was here. I think you all know that Carly works in the academy. This is her salon, Wednesday to Sunday, with 2 other hairdressers. And so they were here at the beginning of the week, and I met them over here so that we could make sure I did health and safety with them, because I am the responsible person. So we did that. And they were talking about they're organising themselves, etc., etc. Anyway, when they came, I didn't have, it was a warehouse day, so I think I was like on my last day of washing my hair, and I didn't have any makeup on. So thank you, Carly, for noticing that I look better today than I did when you saw me the other day, when I was in my warehouse mode. Anyway, the 6-week experience. I want you to think for your client, when you're doing your client's hair, you think to yourself, by the way, I asked you to type in some of the questions. Come on, type in some of the questions. Type in some of the questions, guys. Come on, what are you going to say to your client at the beginning of the visit? Would you like my professional recommendation? Would you like my professional recommendation, or would you like my advice? My professional advice? Whatever words are good for you, but practice them. Have them so they roll off your tongue. You've got days to practice them. Would you like my professional recommendation of how to keep your hair looking and feeling good every day? Right? So now, in all of the years I've been encouraging hairdressers to use that dialogue, I've only ever had one hairdresser that said to me, I had a client who said no. What should I do? Well, if your client says no, don't give them any recommendation. They don't want it. But overwhelmingly, your clients do want it. They do want the recommendations, okay? So would you like my professional recommendation, or would you like my advice of how to get better results with your hair at home, right? Use it all the time. You use dialogue with your client about looking good and feeling good. If you guys can't hear that, that is incredible. That's a lesson for me, actually, because we always talk about when we're doing this stuff, how we need, like, you can hear it now. Yeah, okay. I was interested in that because I was like, I can't believe that. Anyway, so retail to give the clients a better experience, and understand that they will get a better experience when they have got the right recommendations. And we have got great products, right? So now here is the other thing. Make sure that you tell the client, if they're not going to buy the products today, how they can get the products. And forgive me for a little plug for Salon Love, right? But this is one of the boards, and you can get these from us. We are in the process of getting some new ones, because when you go back to the salon, I'm sure you're throwing all your Christmas ones out. We have still got some of these ones here, but do tell your client about Salon Love. Now, here's sometimes what happens. Sometimes if the client's going to be spending, I don't know, £150 with you, sometimes they cannot justify on that day, maybe, for lots of different reasons, right? And as hairdressers, we all chuckle about the clients that say, look, can you put, £75 on my credit card and £75 cash out of my purse, because she doesn't want her husband to know that she pays more than she does, and so she pays you a bit of her housekeeping money or whatever she does. So we laugh about all those things, but they are realities for people. And what we know is this, is that a lot of clients literally get their hair done, and within days or within a week, they're on Salon Love purchasing product. And I don't know if I'm going to see if there's somebody in particular I can remember. She's not here, actually. She's not here. Someone else I'm looking for, actually, while I'm just looking. Forgive me. Yeah, right. Okay. So there was one when way back in the early days of Salon Love. We don't do it so much now because Salon Love is like really busy. We get, particularly at the moment with Colour Start, we get hundreds of orders a day, right? So in the early days, and some of you will remember this, when you get your first sale, when people were getting their first sale, either Daniel or I would call you and say, oh, congratulations, your clients use Salon Love for the first time. And we were talking to a lot of people because in the beginning we were ironing out the creases, etc., etc. Anyway, so there was this particular client who she had ordered, and it was the first time that an order had come through on this particular salon. And so I phoned the salon and said, hello, just want you to know you've had your first order on Salon Love, congratulations. And she said, oh, who was it? And I told her which client it was, and she said, oh, what did she buy? And I told her what she bought. I think it was 2 products. And she said, well, that's odd. She said, because she was only in 3 days ago and I recommended her those products and I've got them on the shelf, right? And she said, that's odd. And I said, well, not really. Clearly, and these are the lessons that we are learning from Salon Love. Clearly, the client on the day just couldn't warrant buying those products, but just a few days later was on Salon Love buying those products. Now, if we're not using Salon Love, when the client a few days later thinks, do you know what, I do need some of those products, what does she do? Tell me what she does. She Googles it, or she goes to Amazon. She goes online. She remembers a little bit about what you said. She can't necessarily get your product, but she starts trying to make those comparisons. So for an example, if you've advised 0 yellow, she's going to look for something that says 0 yellow or something similar, right? And she'll find something eventually. One of the reasons I want to tell you this, Beth is really against Amazon, and they keep writing to Beth about partnering. And in the US, there's a lot of partner programs now through Amazon. And one of the reasons why, and actually I've experienced it myself, and I'll tell you. So one of the reasons why is because when you make a purchase on Amazon, what do? You make a purchase and they say, oh, you purchased this and other people have purchased this. It's happened with my book. If any of you have bought my book in the last few weeks on Amazon, because there's some skin testing pad, right, that you can buy on Amazon. And because so many people that have bought my book have bought this skin testing pad, when people now go to buy my book, it says people who bought this also have bought, and I've had people contacting me and saying, oh, this skin testing pad, is this what you recommend? And I'm like, no, I've never seen it. I don't know what's on it. I don't recommend it. It's not what I do, but that's what Amazon tell people, right? So just so that we understand what happens. Okay, so in terms of retail, the reason to do it for the client is to make her her experience a better experience for 6 weeks, so that she can really look after her hair at home. Becomes a great advert for you, right? Because she feels great. She looks great. Her friends say, gosh, your hair always looks really good. Who's your hairdresser? As opposed to the opposite, where you see the client in the street and you look and you think, oh my God, what has she done with my haircut? Right? So that's better. And of course, we know it makes good business sense, because it makes your client more affiliated and feel stronger, her relationship with you. So and it makes good business sense from a profit point of view. And I've seen these webinars and people that are saying retail's finished, retail's dead. No, it's not. It's not dead at all, and it's not finished at all. People have not got the right strategy if they're not getting good retail results in their salon. And I saw earlier that Emma Hasser wrote, love Salon Love. It's been a lifesaver in lockdown. Great promotions. Emma has regularly been getting £500 a month in retail commission. And actually, I think one month it was even more than that. Maybe she'll share with us. She's really made Salon Love work for her and her clients. And by the way, so you might think, oh, well, that's all she does. No, it's not all she does at all. In fact, she's had the new Euphoria promotions with the bags. I believe Emma's had 2 lots of those, right? So just so that everybody knows, she does great retail in her salon too. And thanks, Tommy, for writing that on there. Oh, there you go. She's had 4 of them. So just so that everybody knows. Okay, so that's the retail. Let's talk now about referrals. Making sure that you get your client to work for you. If any of you are Clubhouse fans, a lot of the time when you're in business rooms on Clubhouse, they're talking a lot about marketing. and the cost of marketing and how to get effective marketing, etc., etc. And one of the things that I think it's really important for us to understand is the most effective marketing is word of mouth. Because it cuts through word of mouth. So a referral from a friend cuts through my thought processes, right? So if I'm going to buy something, I have all these thought processes. Should I do this? Should I do that? Is it going to? When it's a recommendation from a friend, it cuts through those things. So ask your clients for referrals. Whatever system you use in your salon, recommend a friend, whatever it is. But just say to the client, I'm looking for new clients. If you've got, anybody that's looking for a new hairdresser, and let me tell you right now, lots of people are looking for a new hairdresser. You see, habits have been broken. Habits have been broken. And once you break a habit, people are more likely to go for a new hair habit. So that's... with the referrals, that's really, really important. And coupled with that is reviews. Now, last week I was talking to a salon owner stroke hairdresser from America. And it was on Clubhouse, and it was a room about marketing. And she's a salon owner that I know from when I lived in America. And she said that one of the things they've been doing is they've taken the client selfie, and we know that there's real value in a client selfie, right? They've taken the client selfie to the next level, and where clients are confident in doing it, they're getting clients to make a video, right? So not all clients are going to want to do that, but there are some that will, right? And so video is very, very powerful on social media. So, where you can, try and get video. It doesn't have to be very long. It can be very, very short. I put a video up yesterday. It was 4 seconds long. In fact, let's see how many of you have seen it. It was 4 seconds long, and it is of steam cleaning a screen, and the steam goes up like that. 4 seconds long. It's had tremendous coverage on social media. Who saw it? You can just put a yes, right? Let's see. Please do it so that everybody can see the power of the video. A 4-second video. Okay, so it's had tremendous traction, that little video. All right, so try and get some video. Doesn't have to be very long. It doesn't, if the client doesn't want to show their face, maybe you can get her to swoosh her hair or something. But this is the new review. Okay, so that doesn't mean it takes away. Asking people, of course, to put reviews on Google, put reviews on Facebook. Reviews are very powerful, right? So ask your client for reviews, but where you can get these little videos, I said to her, thanks for the tip. That's amazing. And she's sent me through some of the stuff that they've done. It's very simple. She said it's had incredible traction. So there's a little tip there for everybody, okay? Go out there, be the first, be an early adopter, right? It just needs to be a little 4-second video. And then lastly, of course, the 4 R's, we've done retail, we've done referrals or recommend a friend, depends on how you want to reference those. We've done reviews, asking the client for the reviews are very important, but make sure you get that little video where you can, or if not, the client selfie is still good, right? And the before and after pictures are still good, and the pictures of, but let me just tell you something. I don't know about you. I am absolutely sick of seeing pictures of the back of people's heads. I'm over it. Let's change it up, guys. Let's be the first ones to change it up. So, Francesca has said, well, reels are fab. I'm sure they are. You don't need reels. Just do it on a camera. You don't have to make it complicated. When you start making it complicated, that's when people haven't got time. Just take a little video on your phone. And you can cut it down, of course, right? Francesca says she takes videos of her hair's guest every time, and they say it's much nicer to see their hair like that rather than using a back mirror. Oh, nice. What a great idea, Francesca. I love that. So she says to the client, let me show you a little video on the back, right, rather than the mirror, right? And then you show the client goes, wow, that looks fantastic. Thank you. And then you say, do you mind if I use the video? Right? Do you mind if I love that, Francesca. High five on that one. Rah, rah. So, and that's what this group is all about. So, and then lastly, of course, rebook. Now, I know that you are all slammed for the next few weeks, and that is absolutely fantastic. But as I said earlier, we're not coming now. We're not starting from scratch. We're starting from experience. And what happened last time? Here's what happened. Everybody like roared it for the first few weeks, right? Everyone was on the edge of breakdown and burnout, okay? And then a little bit further down the line, so the numbers peaked off. And I've been talking a lot to salons in the US, and I've been talking to Brittany in Canada. And yeah, sure enough, and you know what they say? They say when the US sneezes, the rest of the world catches a cold. Okay, it's always been the same. You might think, oh, that's America. It won't be the same here. It's always the same. I promise you. I've worked globally for the last 20 years, and what happens in one place happens somewhere else. It's just the way it is. We are such a global village. The world is such a small place. So we have to be prepared for the fact that a little bit further down the line, it is going to get more quiet. So the real smart hairdressers are going to make sure you get your clients booked back in, whatever that looks like for that client. It's really very, very important that we do these 4 R's and we set ourselves up for the future. Okay, because this is the most effective way for you to be successful as a stylist, right? So the 4 R's, retail, let's make sure you're ready. You've got a good retail strategy in place. You've got a good dialogue to bring your client in. You know how to make sure if the client doesn't make that commitment on the day, you don't lose the sale, the commitment. And what this does, remember, this is what Daniel says, right? He says, this does not take the place of your retail. What it does is it protects the repurchase, or it protects when clients, don't or can't commit on the day. And one of the things we know about Salon Love is that when people shop on Salon Love, they tend to like buy more things. The average purchase on Salon Love, excluding VAT, is around £45 and has been that way since the beginning, right? So, thank you for reminding me, Emma. There is always a free gift in there for the client, always. Great free gifts. Actually, I've been packing some Salon Love orders this morning. So I'll tell you that often clients get Euphoria urgent repair treatment, little tiny urgent repair treatment. There was a client this morning that bought a fard. So she got a Illumina sample of color shampoo, right? So we very carefully match up. If this client's using fard, she'll want this shampoo. So we very carefully match up the free gifts. And it's a great reason for people to buy on Salon Love. Now, so we've talked about some of the things professionally that we should be doing when we go back. I don't want anyone stressing about it. It's not difficult. It doesn't have to be rocket science. It can be simple and it can be elegant. Okay, so we've talked about that. And then we've also talked about how we build our own column and our own career in the 4 R's. At this point, I'm going to ask you if you have any questions. I saw one pop up and it was actually a question for, can't wait to finally make the hair trichology. Have we a date? So Emma, I can answer that for you. I don't know if she did answer, did she? But I can answer that for you. We are planning to open the academy in May. mid-May. In the first instance, some of the courses that we will be running are the ones that were already booked before we locked down. So for an example, the hair and scalp practitioner is one of them. Gianni's cutting workshop is another. Malibu, there's 2 classes with Malibu, corrective color class and the Malibu foundation class. They will be the first Monday and Tuesday. I'm looking here for Maria to tell me. The first Monday and Tuesday of every month, I think we said. Or Sunday and Monday. Gosh, off the top of my head, I can't remember now. I'm doing some business workshops. A finance one, because once we get going, we've got this far. Okay, we've got this far, but the next year is going to be imperative, right? So I'm going to be the Sunday and Monday, the first of the month. Thank you, Maria. So actually that will be June, the first one of those. So we're doing that. We're planning these other programs. We've got those of you that saw Oliver Shannon's marketing thing, okay? His program is awesome, absolutely awesome. He's coming to do a program here, a marketing program with me, and he's coming to do that too. So we've got some great stuff planned. We are a little bit concerned because the government keep telling us once we get to the 12th of April and we open up, what do the government keep telling us is going to happen? Yeah, Matt's going through his program, right, Matt? Oliver Shannon has been a mentor for Daniel and I. He's been mentoring us for a couple of years. He's fabulous. I mean, unbelievable. It's good value for money, his program. But anyway, yeah, there's going to be an increase in the infection rates. So I'm not concerned for us as hairdressers, because let me tell you, the PPE works, right? So just stick to what you were doing before. We know that in salons, it's a very COVID safe environment, right? But of course, if the numbers rise, I mean, I don't know how the government are going to deal with that and what will happen. But anyway, they're the plans. That's what we're going to do. So I said to you that we were going to do an hour, and it's an hour and 3 minutes. So if there are any questions, please take the opportunity right now. If you need us, you know where we are. We are always here for you. Anything you need, right, just reach out. And if there are no questions, then I'm going to say to you all, yeah, exactly, Emma. Good luck, everyone. Be awesome. Make the most of the opportunities. You know, they say millionaires make success in recession, right? So in hard times, somebody comes out of it with good results, and it's going to be you. You've been set up to win. It's not rocket science. Stop reading the bullshit on social media. Do what you know is the right thing to do. That's all you need to do. Get great results. Follow in Tommy's footsteps, right? Because he's really doing some great stuff. You are all awesome. Be the best you can be every day. And if you focus on just being and doing the best you can do every day, you'll be successful. So, great love to you all. And remember that we're here for you.